Okay, here we go. I have been looking forward to this for a little while now. Creepy new face. Okay, so the story behind this game right here is you can see we're here on Glade. This guy over here, Hunter Spider 7474, a friend of mine, IRL, had exactly 25 minutes to play Age of Empires. And in that 25 minutes, we had to either win or lose. We're playing alongside another friend of ours, Justin. He is the Goths. He loves playing Goths. And we are on a 3v3 on Glade, if I hadn't already mentioned that, up against a couple of friends here. So, here we go. 25 minutes to win or lose, pretty much to me means I have permission to do whatever the hell I want. And I have picked Cumans because I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a long time, which is the Cumans TC Rush, Cumans TC Douche, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be building a second town center in Feudal Age, right in this guy's main little fortress here, and it's going to be fun to watch, and it was even more fun to do. I remember doing this a lot when I first started playing this game, and it didn't always work. I've got a fair amount of games on record where I did this, and there's just so many things that can go wrong, and that's kind of why I stopped doing it. But you know, I've always thought back to those lovely days, and let's see it in action. So we're gonna have to skip forward a little bit here, unfortunately. I guess I'll talk about the map a little bit. Glade. This is actually my first time playing on Glade. I've seen it before, so I kind of know what generally works and what doesn't. People obviously wall themselves in as quickly as they can. Some quicker than others. You know, the better to have a wall than to not have a wall, although you can trap yourself in this little area pretty easily. So, you know, you gotta watch out. This guy especially has to watch out because it would be easy as hell to just chop right through where he's built it. I'm gonna be looking at the enemy's perspective. I love to do that in these types of recordings, but I'll have Fog of War off for the most part. Purple right now is like, hey bro, what are you doing? Come on, wall up already. What's taking you so long? He'll get around to it sooner or later. Poor Norda. He has a bit of a rough game, if I remember. But, we're going to continue. So, here we are. We're the red player. We're the Incans. The Incans are a wonderful civ. I'm not really sure if they're better at building infantry or archers, but they seem to be very good at building both. And obviously they don't have a cavalry component, so it's one or the other, and it's probably going to be both. Right now, it's not much of anything, though. Just a spearman. I guess he saw my scout poking around. Oh, blue lock doesn't really work on this. Yeah, so that's no good for us. But, you know, not the end of the world, obviously. That said, when you're doing something like this, you really don't want people to know what you're up to. You kind of just want it to be a complete surprise. And Glade as a map is kind of works against it on that note, because you can easily just sort of, you just wall off as easily as possible, and then it's a lot harder, and I am going to have to deal with that. So, right now, I'm already thinking about it. I'm already thinking, okay, oh, I should put this shit up. Yeah, that looks good, right there. So I'm already on the way to the feudal age. I'm not the only one. My opposition has already made it, and we're already on the march. Now, he is going to see these villagers. They're all hunters right now, so maybe he's thinking not much of it. Maybe he's like, oh, well, you know, he probably just came out here to get the chickens, get the food, which, you know, seems like it's more trouble than it's worth for the most part. But the point is that we're going to get into a fight, and we're going to take these things down. So those scouts I was a little worried about earlier, I'm less worried about them now. If only because we actually took the time to kill them, and, you know, you obviously can't stop villagers with one spearman. So that's not going to work. That said, what is going to work, at least is going to work a little better, is he has walled us out. So, fortunately, the Cumans do have an answer to that. The first thing we're going to do is build a tower. Building the tower is number one, because then you can shoot the hell out of these guys as they're trying to build backwards. And then, for reasons I don't know, you need a blacksmith to build the next part. The next part, of course, being the siege workshop. Now, normally, you want to get the town center up first, or at least in my experience, you do. But in this case, it's going to have to be the siege workshop. It's just going to have to. There's we can theoretically get in with the villagers, but he's going to have stone walls, and he's probably been in the position that he's been in before, knowing that he has to build behind the maximum range of the tower if he wants to get in. Or if he wants to stop me from getting in, rather. And as a result, the ramps are going to have to come out a little early. Now, fortunately for me, I've already got... I knew that was going to happen, so I already have extra wood and extra gold. And it looks like I'm collecting a little bit of extra stone, too. I had to pull all of my berry people off. But let's get back to the action. So, I'm building my own tower. His is going to go up a little bit faster. Hunter was here. He had his scout. He takes 2 volleys for us, which was nice. And then the villagers run away. We probably could have garrisoned them. I can't remember if you can do that or not. I haven't done it in a long time if you can. But it's looking good. It's looking good for us, at least. Hard to say what his allies are thinking right now. But probably a little bit of concern. You know, I've definitely been on the receiving end of the feudal age Cuman attack before, and it can be really difficult to get rid of. Especially when it's organized and going well. So, we're shooting down the tower. We're hitting down the walls. The walls are done for. I think I make a mistake here. Maybe. I can't remember what it is. Maybe I just should have taken down this market earlier. I don't know. But, we got them. We're in. We have towers, and we can box. And we're going to. Over here, the Huns, Norda, playing as the Huns. I'm sure that's not how that's pronounced, but whatever. Orange is, he's got a little foot patrol here. Not really, oh no. What's that? This is the new Arabian wolf. Not much stronger than the regular wolf. Not stronger at all, in fact. Justin likes to do... he likes to do this thing where he, builds barracks that's pretty close. And the problem is he usually only has, 1 or 2 villagers, so... when they start getting eaten by wolves, it obviously makes it a lot harder to do what he wants to do. But we're not here to look at that right now. We're here to look at this. So I'm getting my town center up. It's a little rough. Red is determined to throw us off. I think I fucked up a quick hole here. I'm definitely going to fuck up another one right there. And these ladies are a little occupied. It's not good. But we have reinforcements coming. And we got a battering ram. The town center is definitely not going to fall to the battering ram. I'm more interested in getting the town center up. But it's not going to be easy. And it might not even be worth doing at this point. Thankfully, I wall his villagers off there. He's going to have to go all the way around if he wants to get them. But it might not even be worth doing, because ideally, when I've done this before and it's worked, you want to have the town center positioned somewhere where it can take down his food, and you want to have a bunch of villagers ready to just pop in at a moment's notice. And even if I get it up at this point, I've only got 2, so that's not ideal. And it's actually looking pretty good for Red right now, because he's killed my scout. He is pushing this tower here. I don't have any of my villagers over there. If I have any villagers left at all, they're probably scattered all over the round. Scattered around everywhere. This guy is actually going to get into a fight with a scout, which he's going to win thanks to this tower. And we did take down the market. Taking down the market is always valuable in feudal age, especially if you kill his blacksmith too, because then he can't click up unless he's got an archer range or something. So what is going on elsewhere, if anything? Yeah, there goes Justin's villager. Very sad. That barracks is not going to get completed, and he's going to have to work a little harder now. Hunter, meanwhile, his favorite thing to do seems to be building Gebettos, swarms and swarms of Gebettos. They're a great unit. And the first ones are already on the map, and these ones are definitely going to need backup sooner or later. Meanwhile, so these farms have been deleted. That's wise. I don't think he thinks he can stop me from building this thing now, but I still only have 2 villagers on it. And he's building a tower now. He probably could have gotten the tower up a lot earlier, but then again, I did have rams. And I walled him in here. That stuff's good. He's going to have to delete his way out if he wants to get out. I also quick-walled those villagers in, and this guy had to get around. And now, we did it. We have the town center up. It's not perfect. We've only got 3 villagers. It is blocking his food, but he got most of the berries. And this is much better, actually, for us. The fact that he is spending a lot of villager time deleting this siege workshop, which we can just repair because we have plenty of food. Over here, the purple guy is doing the right thing, which is he is attacking me in my home base. I obviously don't have that many defenses, and more importantly than that, I don't want to look at this area. I want to focus on this. I want to take every opportunity I can to screw over this red guy. And if I have to go over here and start spending resources defending my own stuff, then it's just going to be annoying, which it ends up being. Fortunately, these guys are not really on the ball today. They're just kind of hanging around these woods, thankfully. And they're getting into fights with the local wildlife, which is even better. So let's just keep working on. Let's keep looking at this. He's going to get these towers up. This one he actually bothers to wall in, which is a good call, because I definitely would have taken it down if I had an opportunity. And this is, I think, the second market he's built now. And he's building it over here because, well, I wrecked this one, and it was a good thing. Now we have siege workshop units coming in the base. We have town centers, and over at home, I did manage to get some walls up to keep these pests out, and he did a terrible sacrifice and killed a bunch of his men. And there's a wolf killing these guys, and they're too busy burning down the walls. I didn't notice this at first. I'm gonna watch this. So, back over here real quick. I'm going after that frickin' market yet again. We got to keep that from winning. I'm building a tower now. There's no way he's going to stop this. You could say goodbye to this market, good friend. And over here, Justin was able to get his units up. Once Justin's units start coming out, they pretty much don't stop. And the Huns are going to have to really step up if they want to deal with that. You can't really count on much support from Purple right now, because Purple has his own headaches to deal with. The Geppetto. Geppetto is just such a freaking fantastic unit. They don't have a lot of health or a lot of defense, but they can outrun most of the stuff that can kill them. And their attack is just insane. So, over here, it's a tower war, it's a market war, it's a mill war, and it's a town center war. I don't think either of us have foot soldiers. Normally when I do this, I don't normally do this, but when I have done this, it's nice to have men-at-arms. Men-at-arms don't cost wood, so you can build your siege weapons to go alongside them, and your towers to back them up. But I just couldn't quite get men-at-arms this time around. It just wasn't going to happen. Old Joe here, he's a brave man for trying. But bravery ain't worth smack. Okay. I got rid of all those pests now. There ain't no more camels around here. And my allies are breaking in the Hunnic base. It looks like some of his units died fighting on the outside. The Huns didn't have their horses. If they had their horses, then they would have won. 2 siege workshops. I don't know why. Yeah, like I said, this guy has a hard game. And, you know, as much fun as I am having taking down Red with this hilarious strategy, or tactic, whatever you want to call it, it is unfortunate that this guy just look at him. He's getting owned, and that sucks. It sucks when you just get owned. His ally is trying to help, to his credit. He's got the Gulam, which is kind of like an Eagle Warrior, but doesn't really have the anti-cav bonus. I don't think most units are good at taking down Geppettos. Certainly not most melee units, so not really much of a threat. Plus, I've fought Justin a bunch of times, and the thing is that even if you kill like one group of his longswordsmen, it doesn't mean you kill them all. So even if he wipes out this whole army here, it's not looking too good. Okay, we've gotten rid of the town center. I was really proud of myself when this happened, because that meant to me that he is not going to be clicking up to the castle age anytime soon. He doesn't really have the resources to do it now, and even if he did, he doesn't have a blacksmith or a market. This is his 3rd market that he's building, and you better believe we're going after that one next too. Trying to get rid of this tower is my main priority, because I'm trying to steal his farms. I don't even really want the farms, I just want to keep him from having them. But I can't quite nail this tower yet. I can't do it because he has villagers defending. They're a little weak, but some of them are still strong enough. So we're going to build more towers and try to push to this area. What I didn't really remember to do, for the most part, is repair the rams. Yeah, you can definitely repair the rams. I just didn't do it as much as I should have. So over here, gold mine denied. My allies are pretty satisfied that they've done everything that they need to do. Oh man, a group of villagers is trying desperately to get out. They have a bit of backup from the Hindustanis. It's about to get messy. Can they get away? A lot of them are weak. They seem to be running pretty good. But there's Geppettos nearby. Oh no. They have no military backup. It's just these 2 ladies are trying to get away. There's a wolf coming. We got a couple more brave men to defend. Thankfully they rush in just in time. But now the wolf is going after her instead. So it's not over yet. That is absolutely his last villager. And it is absolutely about to die. Oh, thank goodness. Whoever this guy is, he's a hero. He deserves a medal. He's probably going to get killed somewhere. But, you know, maybe not. Maybe he'll live. Probably not, though. So, there goes Red's third market. Once again, destroyed by battering rams. Once again, very awesome. This time, I'm actually repairing them. He deleted all of his farms, which I find totally awesome. Totally hilarious. Hunter is in here. He just wants to finish the game because he has to run to dinner. And, yeah, so he takes down the tower, doesn't even wait for the rams, and then, of course, he finishes off the villagers, and now there's absolutely no reason we can't just advance on this last little pocket. And so we will. And I'll even be repairing these things and building more towers. Everything is going swell in the Cuman base. So Red has had enough. He has better places to be, and he's clearly lost the game by now. So that's the end of him, and his friend, who he was on a clan with, I think, is also out of here. Hunter, a cheeky little GG from him. And now we're just chasing down the last orange player. I'm going to spoil it for you and just say that he's in here. He's got his last villager in here just hiding. We don't really know where he is. We looked around for a little while. This kind of looks like a skull. It's very terrifying. The lost base with the skull in it. A lot of dead people over here, but no living villagers and no military buildings. So we're just going to look around for a little bit, but, you know, he's in there. We're pretty sure he's in here, though. So we're going to be making moves against it. Now you get to see just how slow the rams are, though, because it takes them forever to crawl over here. Now, Gabetos can take down a lot of buildings. I've never heard of them taking down a castle. But longswordsmen, on the other hand, are perfectly adequate for the job, assuming you don't care if they get shot at and die. Yet another Arabian wolf. Kinda sucks having to kill these cool animals, though. But, you know, you gotta do it. So, we're not really thinking that he's hidden inside the castle. We're thinking he's got like a second town built or a lumber camp or something in here. Which is pretty standard if you lose your base and have to rebuild. But we got a couple guys on here nonetheless. Let's just skip forward because this is about to end. Alright, there it is. So that was great. I'm so glad this worked. I was maybe 50% sure that this was going to be a complete disaster. Not that I cared if it would. But that's the thing. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong. Typically, even when this worked in the past, what would happen would be I would build a town center, and I would disable an enemy, and then either they would manage to click up to Castle Age, or their ally would definitely click up to Castle Age, and they would just build a castle somewhere in my little town area here. And then that would usually be the end of it. Because towers and town centers and feudal atriums are great, but they just can't beat real structures, even with men-at-arms, of course. And then I would have to build stuff to defend, and of course, because you lose a ton of resources in here, you can't really fight on equal terms anymore, at which point one of my allies would show up with an army of paladins and just kill everything, taking advantage of the chaos that I created. And that was typically how it would work. In this case, I was actually able to overpower this guy, which worked out pretty well. Did he fight valiantly? Yes, absolutely he did. And I think he stood a reasonable chance of beating us at pretty much any point in the game. But, you know, he just made a couple of mistakes here and there. And I was able to take advantage of a few things. And but I think more importantly than that, honestly, as much fun as I had, and as much credit I'm giving myself, the fact that my allies were able to just so easily win down here was kind of unfortunate, you know. We didn't really get to see its true potential. Who knows? Maybe we will someday. Although the Cuman TC rush is not something that you can just do whenever you want. It's hard to pull off. So looking at the stats real quick, I don't really know what to say about any of this, honestly. We can't see their elos right now, or ours. We're all of us are around, like, I don't know, 10 to maybe 1200 elo in multiplayer games, and maybe close to 1100 in 1v1s. But yeah, good games, y'all. GG's. Look at Orange. He just gets squeezed out of existence. Poor guy. I hope he's doing good wherever he is. We're rooting for you, Norda. We're rooting for you.